Hey folks, what's up? Mike Benton here from the Mike Benton team. Thank you so much for plugging in. Each week when I do our videos, Monday and Friday, I try to incorporate some conversations I have with existing clients, prospects, other individuals that are looking to buy or sell. I'm really just taking feedback and conversations and putting them into videos because I figure if they have a question or a concern comes up, more than likely somebody else will have it. So please share this information. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow, comment on our YouTube and social media pages, but also sign up to get our email. So this way we can continue to get great information to you when it comes to this process. I can tell you one of the challenges we have sometimes when you do something so long, like we have over 26 years, you just assume everybody knows or understands, and truly majority don't because they have their own specific areas of expertise. So today what I want to talk about is both for buyers and sellers, and that is conditions of a home when it comes to requirements, repairs. Now, when it comes to a condition of a home, there's really three areas of negotiation. The initial offer. So when a buyer comes into a home and they decide they want to make an offer, at that moment in time, they can also add in there if there's something specific that they would like the seller to address. Carpet, paint, damage, whatever it may be. And you really want to get better at this if you're a buyer's agent or represent a buyer, because wouldn't it be better to get this all out in front instead of trying to use a home inspection or appraisal to get more work done? If there's an issue with a house that you're not happy with, start in the beginning with that negotiation. So your offer can have an addendum that states the buyer requests or will ask for the following items to be addressed by the seller. That's condition number one when it comes to negotiation on conditions or issues with the house at the initial offer. Number two is during a home inspection. Just remember this, buyers, if you're looking to buy a home that's not brand new, don't expect it to be brand new. So when you go to do your home inspection, understand that a lot of the items that you were able to see with at the beginning with your initial offer, if you have an issue with them, you should probably put that in your initial offer. But if you do, this is area number two that you can negotiate. Now, home inspection negotiation is it's an option. It's an opportunity, but more importantly, that's what the buyer is asking for. Everything is 100% negotiable. The seller can do a credit. The seller could say, we're not touching anything. The seller could follow through and take care of the repairs. Now, what we're not talking about are repairs that are being required to obtain a loan. That is the third one, and that's the appraisal, but also lending requirements. Now, when it gets to that point, we already went through an initial offer. We went through the home inspection. Now we're with the appraiser. The appraiser comes out. The appraiser points out something. If the appraiser puts it in the report, that is going to go to the underwriter and become a requirement to the buyer to get this home. So what can a seller do? What can a buyer do? Well, there's two items on the list. The seller could go, I'm not touching it. If you still want this house, you handle the repairs and we'll get to the settlement table. If the buyer says, I'm not touching it, you need to fix it, then we're at a stalemate and the deal could die. But if they both come together, I'm sure the deal can be worked through. But there's nothing that says a seller has to do any repairs. Now, maybe the house won't go to settlement, but there is nothing that requires that unless the seller agrees to do that. And vice versa with the buyer. The buyer can walk away at any given time based upon you're within the time frame to drop dead dates. If the seller says, I'm not taking care of these repairs in a home inspection, the buyer has the right to walk away. If their appraisal's done and the seller says, I'm not doing any of this, the buyer has the right to walk away. At the end of the day, we need two parties, buyers and sellers, to negotiate, to work together to get to plan B, which is the next step, and that is settlement. So, but I do want to be very clear. Initial offer, you have time to negotiate. Home inspection, you have time to negotiate. Appraisal, you have time to negotiate. Those are three areas that both parties have time to negotiate. They're not attached to each other. They're independent silos. Initial offer, home inspection, or inspections. Don't say home inspection. Inspections and appraisal. So I hope that makes sense. Give us a call. Let us know. We'll walk you through it. There's a lot of moving parts when you buy or sell. So please give us a call so you can experience benefits. Have a great one.